greatest country in the world, and it is worth fighting for. It is worth bleeding for, and if it takes it, it's worth dying for the greatest country that this world has ever seen.
What up, America? It is Monday. Let's go. Wake up. I hope you guys had a fantastic Thanksgiving holiday. I know that we did. My headphones I got too much snare in my headphones right now. We hope you guys had a fantastic holiday. If you are ready to be back with the Dear America family, let's go ahead and get some American flags blowing up in the chat because, ladies and gentlemen, it worked. Remember I said, we the people have the power. We need Kash Patel as the FBI director. And me, oh me, look what happens. What in the world? I think we've got something going on in the background.
It's our guest. They're getting set. The audience can't hear it. You're good.
Okay, I heard something. I thought you guys heard it. Either way. All right, we have Kash Patel as the FBI director. If you were pumped for that, I want to see Kash only in the chat. Blow up. Kash with a K. Don't get it twisted. Kash only in the chat. Let's blow it up right now. I want to see it. Go. Also, could we have a president AOC in 2028? I don't know. All of a sudden, all these things have popped out that AOC is the front runner and is actively considering a 2028 campaign run. It's almost like someone said that. I just can't quite place who it was. Oh, and also, in the middle of the night, Joe Biden does exactly what we thought he would do. He pardoned his crackhead son, and we're going to talk about it. If you think they both belong in jail, comment yes or no in the chat right now. But let's go ahead and introduce everybody that's on the show today. Ladies and gentlemen, Todd is on vacation in New York with his wife, so he will not be on this week. But I promise you this, I got a special thing planned for you this week. Around the Wednesday time frame, we got somebody special coming in I'm excited about for you guys to come hang out. But we have the one and only Mexican Tony.
Dude,
Good morning, everybody. It's gonna be me. I'm gonna be here on Wednesday, so that's the special guest.
You are gonna be here on Wednesday. I want to note the amount of layers that you have on.
Well,
right
it is
now.
Okay, everybody. I walked in. The office was 52 degrees.
We forgot to turn the heat on before we left last week, okay? It's not like I said, screw Tony, and I'm just going to...
No, but, I mean, Graham is a polar bear anyways. He wears shorts, and he's got like a light shirt on. I'm wearing an undershirt, a hoodie, plus like a parka over here, and I'm still freezing. He's over there like, oh, it's great. It's fine.
Dude, I love it, man. Anyway, also, producer Royce is in the house.
What is up? Good morning.
With
I'm
his
not layered.
loser sweater. His loser sweater because
the
Ohio
wife
State
is from Ohio,
crapped
man.
the bed in Michigan, who doesn't even have a quarterback. They have like a tight end filling in as quarterback because they're so injured right now. Anyway, Michigan State roll tide away, and Texas versus Georgia for the SEC championship game. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I said if Bama didn't get it, hook 'em horns, baby. I'm going with Texas all day in Atlanta. All day.
Can I get some love for the Oregon Ducks?
And,
We're still
and
undefeated.
Tony's
Still
Oregon
number one.
Ducks are undefeated for 2 more weeks, and then it's not going to happen that way anymore.
right,
But
we'll
see. I told you, if your Ducks make it to the national championship, I will pull for you, unless somehow, some way, Alabama sneaks in and gets to the national championship. Wouldn't that be something? And I know you guys hate sports. Shut up, Scrooges. Let me talk for a minute. I know that Alabama probably doesn't deserve to get in there, but what if Alabama got the number 12 spot in the final rankings, and just what if Alabama runs the freaking table? Heads would explode. The world would cease to exist as we know it. People would be so mad. But
well, I mean, I will say this. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but Alabama's one of those teams that sells tickets. They
Yes.
bring the viewers, and what better way for a college playoff the first year to have as many viewers as you can? So yeah, Bama's good for business,
Bama's
man.
a big ticket over
All right, guys,
SMU.
guys.
Oh yeah,
All
absolutely.
right,
We got to
we're
move
going.
on. We got to
All
move
right.
on.
All right.
No
Shout
sports,
out-
guys. Come on.
Shout out to my boy Josh Allen. Congrats on the engagement and congrats on winning the AFC East last night. Go Bills, baby. All right, let's go. All
Wow,
right.
they already clinched the.
They
AFC.
clinched
Wow.
the AFC East last night, and he got engaged to Haley Steinfeld. Congrats, Josh.
Awesome. All right. Sorry, Royce. Let's move on.
Congratulations. All right, moving on. Let's go ahead and
Thank
get
you.
our first sponsor out of the way for today's show. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, but you need to hit that like button right now. Every single person needs to hit that like button and hit the share button. Whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, X, or right here on Rumble, hit the share button right now. Do us that favor. The more you share, the more people see the truth, which is the ultimate purpose of this show. Also, we want you to check out our friends at Birch Gold. Ladies and gentlemen, we talked to you about this last week. This show is able to come to you without fear of being shut down through our sponsors. And that sponsor, no sponsor has been more loyal to us than Birch Gold. Now, we realize some people are in a spot to diverse their portfolio and some people aren't. All I'm asking is for you guys to support us by texting the word Graham. That's GRAHAM to 989898 right now. What they're going to do is they're going to contact you about free information on how gold, silver, and precious metals can protect your money during this uncertain economy that we're living in right now. Maybe it's for you, maybe it's not. But everybody asks us all the time, how can we support the show? How can we support your mission and what you're doing? You support the show by supporting the sponsors that support us. If you go up to the top real quick, you'll see every single thing is up right now. Gold, silver, platinum, palladium, everything's up right this second. Go text the word Graham right now. That's GRAHAM to 989898 right now. That's how you can support us, by simply sending a text and finding out if Birch Gold is right for you. That's Graham to 989898 right now. All right, let's do this. We got a lot of degenerates in football these days. Speaking of Ohio and Michigan, this is going to be interesting to see how this plays out in the college football playoff. A brawl broke out between Ohio State and Michigan after Michigan planted their flag on the Ohio State logo. The Michigan happened after Michigan beat Ohio State. The fight lasted for a few minutes. Is this a video? Do we go down?
It is.
Well, we all saw it. But here's the thing. Here's what's going to be interesting. Just mute it. I don't need to hear it. Just play it. All right. So this is them fighting. What's going to be interesting, and I'm curious y'all's thoughts. The police have to get involved here, and the police have to pepper spray players and coaches on both teams to break this up. Now, my question to you guys is this, and I know you guys are sports haters, whatever. I think that at minimum, every single player that had to be pepper sprayed by the police on Ohio State's side should be barred from playing in the playoffs. And then that leaves the playoff committee. Is that Ohio State team, if a lot of those people are starters, is that the same team, and should they be in the playoffs, yes or no? If you believe that at minimum, the players that had to be pepper sprayed by the police to stop fighting, I want you to think about that for a second, okay? If this was anywhere else other than a football game, you'd be like, throw them in jail,
Yep.
right? So my question is, should they be barred from playing any more football this season, the ones that were pepper sprayed by the police? Again, I understand people in football fight. I got it. Seen a lot of them. It's very seldom that the police have to get involved and pepper spray them. They were pepper spraying them inside their mask to try to get them to freaking stop. Comment yes or no if you agree. I know Michigan got pepper sprayed. People, y'all aren't listening. Michigan ain't in the running for the college football playoff. I'm talking about all of them. All the players that got pepper sprayed and the coaches on top of that. Why are the coaches having to get pepper sprayed? This is degeneracy at its highest level. And I'm just curious y'all's thoughts. Like, if this was anything other than a football game, people would be like, yeah, put them in jail. But although Ohio State fans were like, wait just a minute, man, hold on. And all the Michigan fans said, yeah, go ahead and do it.
No, I think Michigan more than Ohio State should be at fault here, because you don't go into somebody's house and plant a flag in the middle of their field. I get it. They won.
See
it was
that
upset.
I don't even mind that. I don't. If you go in there with the number 2 team and you beat them away, like if they were home, people would have stormed the field. I got no problem planting the flag. But a lot of people are like,
On someone else's field, you think that's okay?
See, I
got no
disagree.
problem with
I
it.
disagree with
Nah,
that
man.
myself.
If China came into America and tried to plant a flag, we'd be
It's
taking them
different.
down, bro.
If China beat us, that's different. See what I'm saying? If America went to
got a
China
point there.
and whooped China, don't you think we'd be planting some flags? I'm just
No,
saying.
see, I look at it as when I grew up in a gang neighborhood. Somebody came into our neighborhood and started spray painting our walls. People got shot. People got killed. So yeah, I would not. I would not.
But you're missing the key point. That other gang just came in and beat your gang. So therefore, it becomes their territory.
How is this turned into gangs?
It's
We're talking about
Tony
football,
brought
right?
it up.
It's a
again.
disrespect thing, is what it is. I mean, I get it. They won. Whatever. Just take your win and get the heck out.
And I will correct somebody here. Somebody's like, it was Michigan's fault. No, it wasn't. Michigan planted the flag, and then the Ohio State players literally ran 50 yards to go fight them. Like, I'm just saying, Ohio State is to blame here. You cannot like the flag planting. You can say, oh, that's disrespectful. Ohio State started to fight. And somebody's like, Graham just hates Ohio State. Yeah, I do. I think they're a degenerate university.
I disagree.
I
It's
really
Michigan's
do.
fault.
And I hope you're mad about it. I really do. All right, moving on. Let's see. Speaking about someone we all can agree that we hate, Tony Fauci. Everybody hates him, and his day of reckoning is coming. If you want to see Tony Fauci, can we at least agree that Anthony Fauci deserves to be in jail? Just comment yes or no if you agree with that. This is why I love talking about sports. Everybody gets so, I love it. But either way, can we at least agree that Tony Fauci belongs in prison? Just comment yes or no if you agree with that, so we can all get back on track here. Well, this is President Biden, literally yesterday, saying that Tony Fauci is a true hero and then salutes the man. Play it.
A special thanks to one of the great public health officials, a true hero, who we've led this fight against HIV/AIDS, Dr. Anthony Fauci.
That was HIV/AIDS.
Where is that?
Where is he? Well, COVID.
And you're a good man.
Get your booster.
God love you.
God love you.
As my mother would say, God love you, Anthony.
Isn't that just
As his
disgraceful?
mother would say, God love you, Anthony. As if that's like some thing that not most people would say.
I
as
think-
my mother would say,
like my mother would always say. You know what I'm saying? Like,
God love
Okay.
you. So-and-so.
I believe that not only Fauci should be in jail, I think the whole administration should be in jail. They cost us
Yeah,
so
man.
many things. They flat out lied to us
Oh,
about everything.
Tony
dude.
Fauci's going to jail. You, Mark, go ahead. And I got receipts coming from the last time I said this. Go ahead and mark this episode. What episode number is this?
hold up, I can tell you.
Come on. What episode number is this? Whatever episode number this is, go ahead and mark this right now. Tony Fauci will be in jail. Watch
766.
766 is episode 766. Mark that in your brain. Write it down. Within the next 18 to 24 months, Tony Fauci will be in prison. Mark it down right now. He will
Another
be in
Graham prediction.
Prison. He will be in prison. If you agree with that, comment yes or no in the chat. Talking about Jesus is starting to make a resurgence in America. Reports now say that Bible sales have increased 22% in 2024, driven by first-time Bible buyers. I think that's awesome. I think that's great because Lord knows the Christians we got on the ground right now ain't doing a dang thing. Lowest evangelical turnout in the election in recorded history. So we need some fresh draft picks for keeping the sports references going. We need some new draft picks for Christianity here because we got to get some new starters on the team. Give me a big amen in the chat. Give me some praying hands for Jesus making a comeback in the country. Bible sales increasing 22% in 2024. I think that's awesome. I think that's amazing. And, I told everybody, I told the Christian church, the whole miracle we saw in Butler with President Trump's life being spared, and he had a 0.0002% chance of surviving that, and yet he did. I believed it was going to lead to something, and now I think you're seeing it in real time. And I got to give a shout out to the Catholics too. Catholic vote was up 15% when the evangelical vote was the lowest in recorded history. I think Catholics are leading the charge a lot here on this. I really do. And you can say whatever you want, evangelicals and Protestants, because that's what I am too. We've been sucking for a long time. Somebody's got to stand up here, and the evangelicals ain't doing crap.
Can you imagine if the evangelicals would have voted their Bible? How much more?
It would have been a Reagan landslide.
Yeah,
if Christians would have just got off their proverbial butts.
Yeah, I mean, the popular vote would have been way, 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 way more than what it was already. So yeah, I mean, they need to get off the couch and just vote their Bible, dude. I mean, literally, that's all it is.
Anyway, I think that's great. All right, are we ready for our next thing, Royce, or no?
Not just yet. I'll let you know. We can move on to the next thing.
Okay. All right. So. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, looks like he might be here. You want to jump to him?
Yeah. All right. We got a good friend joining us here. This is the president of Preborn, and he has a new book out called "Hearing Jesus Say Well Done." So joining us now is Daniel Steiner. And like I said, he is our good friend over at Preborn. We love what Preborn is standing for, but he has a new book. And Mr. Dan, are you there, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Please tell us about this amazing book. We got a quote from Charlie Kirk here that says, quote, "Every Christian should be living their life with an eye to eternity, and Dan's excellent book will tell you how," end quote. A major endorsement from Charlie Kirk. Please tell us a little bit about this book.
Yeah, well, thanks. And it's a joy to be with you here, Graham and Royce. Thanks for the help. Charlie's a good friend. Probably would say the most, we just spent the whole month with Tucker in September, but Charlie is the most evangelical influencer and the major influencer that I've ever worked with. He's a great man and endorsed the book. So here's the deal. On that great day, on that best day, on that first day of your life, you're standing before Jesus. You've made it to heaven, thank God, not by your own works, by the way, but by his. What would you like to hear him say to you? Well, we all would say, like 99% of the people would say, "Well done, good and faithful servant."
Good and faithful servant, yeah.
Yeah, man, right? The best thing. So everybody wants to hear it, but the second question, I've asked this to Dallas theological professors, asked to Bruce Wilkinson, who wrote Prayer of Jabez. None of them can answer it. Biblically speaking, who does Jesus say well done to? What's the biblical context for it? Nobody knows, which is why we wrote the book. So we had to write a book about that. I did. And so that's what the book's about, is helping people understand how you can hear Jesus say well done. Because here's the deal. You and I will get to heaven singularly by the work of Calvary that Jesus did for you and I, becoming our sin for us. But how we will live in heaven depends on the life we live on earth. Jesus said it. He said, "Behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me." He's bringing rewards, praise God, to give unto every man according to what he has done. And so if you're Graham Allen and your team here and you're speaking truth across the fruited plain, there's a reward for that in heaven. A reward for your listeners who stand with you. And so the book is about bringing increase with your life, how to be able to hear Jesus say, "Well done." You can get the book on Amazon. And this is about having your best life for 1 billion years. How do we get to the place where we can have confidence that our life in heaven will be magnificent? And so that's what the book's about. We encourage people to read it because, this life is very short. That life is 1 billion years on the first day. And we want it to be the best it can be, right? And so this is how we find out, is by what God's word says.
Well, that's awesome. I'm excited to check it out myself. I got to get a copy over here. I got to go purchase it. So can people find it on Amazon, or can they get it on Preborn, or can they go to danielsteiner.com? Where would be the best place for people to find this book for you, sir?
Yeah. Thanks for asking, Graham. Yep. On danielsteiner.com, Amazon would be the best place because you can leave a review, be kind, and You know, this is where people get their endorsements and such. But I got to tell you, the most exciting thing about this, Miriam and team, is the book of Revelation unfolds 12 different, magnificent, increasingly great rewards that are waiting for us in heaven. Like Jesus said, they'll walk with me in white. I'll give them to eat of the tree of life. I'll confess their name before God. These are great things. We want to partake, right? And how do you do that? And there's one qualifying word for every one of those rewards that God has waiting for us in heaven, found in the book of Revelation. To him who blank, I will give to eat of the tree of life. To him who blank, I'll confess his name before my Father. What's blank? Nobody knows that either, which is why we wrote the book as well on how to, and I'm not going to tell you. I have to read the book. But
Yeah.
I can do a spoiler.
Don't
here.
give too much away.
But anyway,
Well,
this is
sir.
how I spend that.
Awesome. Well, sir, we love what you guys are doing at Preborn. Everybody needs to go support the company, save a life by making a purchase of these sonograms. Go to preborn.com/gram and make sure you go to amazon.com and get Daniel Steiner's new book, Well Done, or Hearing Jesus Say, Well Done. You can go to amazon.com and leave a review. Mr. Dan, we appreciate everything that you guys do at Preborn, and we appreciate you putting out this book, sir. I can't wait to read it, and I encourage all the listeners to go right now and check it out as well. We'll have to have you back on soon.
Thanks, Graham. God bless you. Keep it up.
All right, sir.
Same
God
to
bless you as well.
See you guys.
All right. I think that's
awesome.
great. What a
Yeah.
great book. I mean, that is true. Everybody wants to hear the words, good job, or well done, my good and faithful servant. But, all the other questions around it, how do you get there? What do you do? I think that's great. Everybody go check that out. And also make sure to check out preborn.com/Graham. All right, let's get into it right now. Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news over the weekend. Well, it was breaking to some people. We'll see. AOC is planning to run for president in 2028. Mario is reporting AOC for president in 2028, ready for the political doom and gloom. Hold on to your hats, because AOC is reportedly considering a run for president in 2028 because, her track record in Congress is impressive. I'm not going to make fun of this really quick. Just go down to the picture of her real quick. I have said this woman is not as dumb as you guys think that she is. She's playing a character. She's playing a part. Now, her policies and her leftist ideologies are insane. But remember, after the Kamala thing, she started talking about, people don't like fake people. They can see through fake, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And somebody said this last week, and I remember a lot of people in the chat saying, no, that ain't never going to happen. No way, da-da-da-da. We brought receipts. Remember I said, mark this down. Mark this episode down of who I think's running in 28. Don't worry. Royce found it so when everybody else says, this organization called it. Did you call it or did we call it? Because I'm pretty sure that we here at Dear America called it. Royce, you got it ready? You got the clip ready?
I got it. Yep.
Let's play it. Let's go. They're already testing the waters with AOC. I've told everybody this. AOC will eventually run for the Democratic Party. I've been saying it from the beginning. She will eventually run, and she's polling very well, very early. Now, we're super early. Donald Trump hasn't even sworn into office yet, but I'm telling you, watch this. Ocasio-Cortez Shapiro ticket.
There it is.
I want to point out, one, can I just get a Graham was right in the comment? Can I get a Graham was right? I've never done that before, but I think, come on. That was literally, I don't know how long ago that was, but then over the weekend, now all of a sudden, NBC, everybody's picking up. If you watch this show, you're at least a week ahead of the news cycle. Can I at least get a Graham was right? I mean, at what point does the redneck start getting some love here for being right about these things? I'm telling you, Dear America family, if you watch this show, you are at least a solid 7 to 10 days ahead of the normal news cycle. I also want to point out that Todd was wrong again. I just want to point out. Here's
There
how,
it is. There it is.
Look, if you go back to that, Todd's going, nope, and he's doing thumbs down during the entire thing.
He was so ashamed he just couldn't join the show today.
Listen to me.
Took a week off.
Here's what you want to do. I see the Graham was right. You guys are a little hesitant to put that in there, but why don't we comment Todd was wrong? How many Todd was wrongs can we blow up the chat with right now? Because Todd is watching and he disagreed and he disagreed and he disagreed. How many Todd was wrongs can we get in the chat blowing up while he's watching right here? Don't let me down now, chat. Let's go. Somebody said Grandma's always right. That person needs a raise. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, all right.
I mean, this
Todd said nope.
is one of those things where this makes sense. I mean, she's got a lot of followers on her social media accounts, and they saw what happened when Trump's team went the social media route. So absolutely, I mean, it does make sense. It's scary, but they shoved Kamala down everybody's throats when she didn't win any of the primaries. So I mean, why not? Why not just get somebody fresh? And obviously, I don't agree with AOC. I think she's about as dumb as a rock.
There comes the Todd was wrong. Let's go. Let's go.
So was Kamala. Kamala is So I mean, why not?
They're definitely good at propping people up. And let me just say, I think that AOC running for president in 2028 is the best idea they've ever had. I think it's genius. For the same reason why we did not want Joe Biden to drop out, I think AOC should really make an effort for this thing. She'll get some momentum for sure.
I think that people are highly underestimating AOC. Mm-hmm. She has national influence over stupid people. All right. And again, everybody in here is like, oh, I hope she runs because it'll never work. You guys are not morons. Okay. She speaks idiot. She does. She's fluent in it. She speaks moron. And she appeals to the dumbest of the dumb, the brainwashed of the brainwashed. Every single thing she tweets goes viral. Everything she says. And it's insanity to us, but everybody else is like, oh my God, that's right. Oh, she's brilliant. She's young. She's this. She's a woman of color. She would be the youngest president, I believe, ever voted president if she made it. I mean, she's got all these barriers that she would break. She is far more dangerous than you guys give her credit for. I'm sorry. I disagree with you all wholeheartedly on this. I'm telling you, watch out. Now, we got a long way till the actual election cycle gets here, but you watch. AOC is going to slowly start to go. Right now, if the scales are like this, the left is, boom, they done broke the scale over here. She's going to slowly start to bring it like, let's call it here. 45, not dead center middle, but let's call it a good 45-degree angle. And even we have said, I can't believe I'm actually agreeing with AOC on something for a change. You know what I mean? She's going to start slowly but surely doing this stuff over the next several months and years. I'm telling you, we're a long way out. President Trump hasn't even sworn in yet. And a lot of you are probably thinking this. Even if she does run, she's got to debate J.D. Vance, and J.D. Vance is going to destroy her.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true. But the Democrats have already shown that they'll run a social media campaign. We showed that this is a social media campaign. Donald Trump going on all the big shows across the board. You don't think Joe Rogan would interview AOC? You really think that Joe Rogan wouldn't do that? And you really think AOC wouldn't go on Joe Rogan?
Exactly. Kamala Harris turned down half a dozen people. AOC would not. That's the difference. AOC does understand the social media aspect because she's in it.
1,000,000%. Theo Vaughn. I love Theo Vaughn. You really think Theo Vaughn wouldn't interview AOC? Really think about it. Just really think about it. Absolutely. The answer is 1,000,000% they would, and they're going to do it when she runs. You can get mad all you want to.
Yeah, I mean, she would be a great pick for them. I mean, think about it. She put herself through school bartending, and then she got her degree, got into politics, blah blah blah, all that crap. So yeah, so she's a woman of color. Absolutely. I mean, great pick for them. I mean, it literally is.
Comment yes or no in the chat if you agree with me. It's no longer in debate that she's considering a 2028 run. That's been proven. Do you think she's more of a threat than other people think she is? Comment yes or no in the chat if you think so. I believe she's more of a threat than people are giving her credit for. And it's not just me. Here's Charlie Kirk. I love Charlie, but we were ahead of you on this one, buddy. Here's Charlie talking about AOC right now. Let's listen to what he has to say.
No, you're exactly right. I'll say this about AOC is that she has a lot of talent. She has tens of millions of followers on social media, and she is someone that needs to be taken seriously. If she were to run for the presidency within the Democrat Party initially, she would be formidable. And, you know, we as Republicans, we can laugh and we can try to make fun of her, but she understands where the energy of the Democrat base actually is, which is a progressive energy. Now, good luck winning in Ohio or Michigan or Wisconsin or Pennsylvania and any of these Rust Belt states with that sort of radical left-wing perspective. However, this is whether or not AOC runs for the presidency will be a very interesting litmus test of where is the center and the soul of the Democrat Party. Are they going to try to double and triple down on what we would consider to be woke ideas or policies, or are they going to try to moderate themselves the way that Bill Clinton did in the 1990s and was able to kind of build a Southern Democrat strategy that ended up being very, very successful for them in the 1992 and 1996 election.
Yeah.
My bet is that there are far too many people on the woke side of the Democrat Party. I think it's going to go more in the direction of AOC, and she should be taken very seriously.
Well, speaking of the bench, you can see with some of these picks.
I mean,
Okay.
I think that's all we need.
Again, my point. Somebody's like, fool yourself much? Hey, this is my show. I'm right. Sorry. I'm here. I'm here to try to tell you guys this stuff because to try to prepare everybody. Look, this is what they're going to do. Charlie even talks about it. Are they going to go more leftist in their ideologies? I disagree with Charlie. I don't think they're going to go more left by going AOC. Mm-hmm. I see AOC going just ever so slightly more towards the middle. Like I said, give it a 45-degree angle back to the middle, right? Still going to be far left, but she's going to be a 45-degree angle there. And just like Charlie said, she would be formidable, all right? And if you don't believe that, it's true. Okay, here's the one thing I will say about J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance is a debating genius. J.D. Vance is amazing. J.D. Vance will be 4 years older by this point. He'll be 42 years old by the time 2028 election gets here. AOC will be 38, somewhere around in there. And who do you see being able to reach the younger vote better? That's the scary part, in my opinion. If AOC can activate the younger vote, which is something Kamala Harris could not do, and then Donald Trump was able to do it because he accepted these podcast invitations. Well, this time around, an AOC candidate would naturally be able to talk to the younger voter early, and she would not go on these podcasts. It's going to be interesting to see. And you guys can take it for what it's worth, but that's where I'm at. That's what I think. And I guess we'll find out 3 years from now well, what happens. And so I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
To be clear, I hope I'm wrong. I do think she's beatable. Absolutely, 100%. Don't get it twisted. I'm just here to keep preparing you guys that we haven't won the war yet. We won a major battle. We're winning battles. But the war ain't over. Speaking about the war not being over, last night, almost in the dead of night, something happened that we've all said, again, we've told everybody this was going to happen. This was going to happen. That there was zero chance that Joe Biden on his way out was not going to pardon his son, Hunter. And last night, he did it. CBS reported last night, I mean, literally almost in the middle of the night, President Biden announced that late Sunday that he signed a pardon for his son, Hunter Biden, in a major reversal in the final weeks of his presidency. If you believe that the Biden crime family should be in prison, comment yes or no in the chat right now. I want to read what Joe Biden had to say. This was his written statement. I don't believe he wrote this statement. Somebody wrote it for him, but this is what he had to say. Today, I signed a pardon for my son, Hunter. From the day I took office, I said I would not interfere with the Justice Department's decision-making.
He admits it.
And I kept my word, even as I have watched my son being selectively and unfairly prosecuted. it's like they took the word Trump and put Hunter in the name. Either way, without aggravating factors like use in a crime, multiple purchases, or buying a weapon as a straw purchaser, people are almost never brought to trial on felony charges solely for how they filled out a gun form. Those who were late paying their taxes because of serious addictions but paid them back subsequently with interest and penalties are typically given non-criminal resolutions. It is clear that Hunter was treated differently. The charges in his case came about only after several of my political opponents in Congress instigated them to attack me and oppose my election. Then a carefully negotiated plea deal agreed to by the Department of Justice unraveled in the courtroom with a number of my political opponents in Congress taking credit for bringing political pressure on the process. Had the plea deal held, it would have been a fair, reasonable resolution of Hunter's case. No reasonable person who looks at the facts of Hunter Biden's cases can reach any other conclusion than Hunter was singled out only because he is my son. And that is wrong. The hypocrisy of this statement. But either way, there has been an effort to break Hunter, who has been 5.5 years sober, except for the cocaine that they couldn't, the Secret Service and the FBI couldn't figure out who brought cocaine into the White House. But either way, there has been an effort to break Hunter, who has been 5.5 years sober, even in the face of unrelenting attacks and selective prosecution. In trying to break Hunter, they've tried to break me, and there's no reason to believe it will stop here. Enough is enough. For my entire career, I have followed a simple principle. Just tell the American people the truth. They'll be fair-minded. Here's the truth. I believe in the justice system. But as I have wrestled with this, I also believe raw politics has infected this process and it led to a miscarriage of justice. And once I made this decision this weekend, there was no sense in delaying it further. I hope Americans will understand why a father and a president would come to this decision. Could it be that reports that Hunter Biden was writing a book and borderline threatened his president father that if you don't pardon me, I'm going to put the book public? Yes, Tony.
Well, two things. Number one, I find it very ironic that they dropped this late last night at the end of the news cycle that he was pardoning his son. Second thing is, between us three here, any one of us would have been found with the amount of cocaine that supposedly Hunter had on him. We would have a felony charge slapped on us, and there'd be no doubt that they'd put us in jail. I don't think I would have received the presidential pardon. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I'm not that close
not
to the
to
president.
mention the stinking laptop and all the photos. I mean, there's video and photo evidence of the crimes that he's done, and the only thing that they've slapped his wrist on is this illegal gun purchase thing. And not to mention, he threw it in a trash can outside of a school as well. Like, the dude is more than guilty. And for Biden to come out and say, like, oh, he's done nothing wrong, he's been 5 years sober, lie. And he comes out and says the thing that he's always stood by, or whatever he said, is telling the American people the truth. Were you telling us the truth when COVID was going through America rapidly, and you were telling everybody to stay in their homes and don't go see your grandparents? Were you telling the truth then? Were you telling the truth when Donald Trump was being convicted and put in a cell, not in a cell, but getting mugshots done and being dragged to case to case to case? Were you telling the truth then? No, is that unfair? You're saying that everything that's going on with Hunter Biden, it was unfair and that the plea deal was fair and just? What? Look, it doesn't make any sense. You can't flip-flop like this when Donald Trump was being prosecuted for running for president. And you're over here saying that Hunter Biden was only being prosecuted because he's your son. It boils my blood.
Well, everything that the Democrats say about President Trump and what President Trump will do is, in fact, what they did. Let's go through a list. Royce put a list together here of reasons why Hunter should not be pardoned. Everybody should follow at Royce Chamberlain right there on Twitter. There it is. Reasons why Hunter Biden should have not been pardoned. Guilty on federal gun charges for lying about drug use during purchase and possession as an addict. That is, in fact, a federal crime. He's also accused of tax evasion for not paying $1.4 million in taxes, influence peddling via roles at Burisma in Ukraine, and business with CEFC China Energy raising FARA registration issues, money laundering, allegations through shell companies from foreign dealings. We know for a fact that the Biden crime family has over 20 shell organizations of which money was funneled through. Nothing happened. Personal conduct, including issues with addiction, financial mismanagement, posting your sexual dealings with hookers online. The list goes on and on. Joe Biden has said over and 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 over again that he would not do this. But don't just take my word for it. We've got many clips here to prove that this would not happen. Here we go. Let's play this.
I'm extremely proud of my son, Hunter. He has overcome an addiction. He's one of the brightest, most decent men I know. And I am satisfied that I'm not going to do anything. I said I abide by the jury decision, and I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
All right, next. Will not pardon him. Next.
Your son Hunter is on trial, and I know that you cannot speak about an ongoing federal prosecution. But let me ask you, will you accept the jury's outcome, their verdict, no matter what it is?
Yes.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes.
Your son Hunter.
Yes.
All right, next. This is KJP lying about this. Here we go.
Second one, will the president pardon or commute his son if he's convicted?
So I've answered this question before. It was asked of me not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, and I was very clear, and I said no.
Okay. Hey, let me go back to the first question of the briefing. I know you said not a lot's changed since yesterday and that it's a personal matter, but from a presidential perspective, is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No.
Again, you've also said several times that the president would not pardon or commute the sentences for his son, Hunter. I just want to make sure that that is not going to change over the next 6 months. The president's saying he would not.
It's still a no. It's still a no.
It will always be a no.
It's still a no. It will be a no. It is a no, and I don't have anything else to add. Will he pardon his son? No.
Second one, will the president pardon or commute his
There you go. Over and over and over again. But don't worry, President Trump knew exactly what was going to happen. This is President Trump talking about Biden and the possibility of him pardoning his son, Hunter. Let's watch.
You've talked about wanting to unify the country if you're elected. If you are president again, in the name of unity, would you consider pardoning Hunter Biden?
Well, I wouldn't do anything that would be overt in terms of Hunter. It's a sad situation. But I could have done that with Hillary Clinton. She was crooked Hillary. She's crooked Hillary. And I said, wouldn't it be terrible to take the president of the United States, put his wife in jail? And she was Secretary of State aside from everything else. You're going to take the president's wife and put her in jail. And I tempted down. You saw that when they were going, put her up, lock her up. And I'm going, nice and easy. People don't remember that. Nice and easy. And we won. But wouldn't that be terrible? And then I found out that when I came in over nothing, look, I got 2 impeachments and I won. I'm winning all the cases. How about the case in Florida? The big case was the one in Florida. I won that case. What they've done is use the FBI and they've used the Department of Injustice to go after their political opponent. And it has never been done in this country. And people say, am I going to do that? And the answer is no, I don't want to do that. It's so bad for the country. The precedent they've set is so bad for our country. But I could have done it with Hillary, and certainly you do it with Hunter or whatever, but I don't want to do it with Hunter either. And I'll bet you the father probably pardons him. Let's see what happens. But
there you go.
He's a bad boy.
Somebody just said that Peter Doocy will have a heyday. It was announced last night that there will be no White House press briefings for the next couple days.
Of course.
So no, he won't, because the White House just is like, nope, we're not, no, we're not doing nothing.
But you know Peter's not going to let him get away with that.
We're not doing nothing at all. And then, of course, the tweet of all tweets, Royce says this aged poorly, and that is, of course, the May 31st tweet of Joe Biden saying no one is above the law. And I just want to point this out. I pointed this out early in the show. Go back, Royce, to yours. I want to show this. This is the difference between me and Royce. He's super witty. trying to do things like this. This aged poorly. But then if you click on the tweet here from Joe Biden, you'll see if you just go down a little bit, there I am. And of course I go with except your criminal crackhead son. Just slightly more aggressive.
Slightly, a little bit more aggressive.
Mine is absolutely a truth, but that you can see the differences in our personalities there across the board. I think that this is one of those things. I love the community note on X as well.
I know.
So Joe Biden wrote this on May 31st, no one is above the law. And now the community note says, on December 1st, 2024, President Joe Biden pardoned his son, Hunter Biden, for crimes covering nearly 11 years of offenses against the United States, which he has committed or may have committed or taken part in during the period from January 1st, 2014 through December 1st, 2024. So not only did Joe Biden pardon him of the federal gun charges, he pardoned him for every crime, tax event, everything for the past 11 years.
So he can never be prosecuted again for all those crimes that he did? Never?
Not for that stuff. No,
not for that stuff. So if something
now
else
they
came
can
up,
bring new charges
on him?
But it has to be new, right? Like it has to be new.
Well, the only thing, what I will say is the only thing he's actually been charged with is the gun stuff, right? Everything else he's being accused of, which I guess they could come back and charge him with everything on the Hunter Biden laptop, right? Is that possible?
Yeah. Well, I don't know, maybe. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. It would have to be new charges brought up. But the thing you got to ask yourself is the timing of all this stuff. And this is where we remind you to hit that like button and hit that share button because less than 24 hours after a certain announcement was made. Now, you guys remember about 2 weeks ago, I joined Dan Bongino in calling for you guys to put pressure, a social media campaign pressure that we needed Kash Patel for FBI director. Well, ladies and gentlemen, 2 days ago, we got the announcement that Kash Patel has been officially nominated as the FBI director. One round of applause for you, the audience, because you guys made this happen, all right? Second, I want to see if you are pumped about this announcement of Kash Patel. I want to see American flags break the chat right now, because what does this mean? This means that you, the people, and your voice is back in charge of the United States government. This means that your voice and your will and your desire put pressure where pressure needed to be and where Donald Trump might have been stuck for a minute. Your push, let's go, American flags, let's go. Go, 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 go. Your push of your will of what you wanted to happen pushed it over the line the way it's supposed to be. The people, we the people have the power. We the people have the final say-so, even with the president of the United States. Let those flags fly, baby. Let them go. 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 I think it is an amazing moment. You are witnessing in real time the people taking back what's going on. All right, let's play some clips here. First of all, this is MSNBC's reaction, which I think is great. Let's play this. Keep the flags going.
Kash Patel, and I don't say this lightly, is the most dangerous nominee that we've seen yet to our democracy.
Kash Patel as FBI director would be like if you crossed Alex Jones with J. Edgar Hoover in terms of just how much he would want to ignore precedent and the constraints that have been put onto the FBI over the years. With all of the conspiracy theorizing, all of the eagerness to fan the flames of the worst instincts of President Trump.
Where does all of this fit in with January 6th? January 6th is the juxtaposition of the Constitution. Many think it was treasonous. And for him to be one of the conspirators, this is now left to the court of public opinion, because you're going to have a lot of senators, Republican senators, who are loyal to President-elect Donald Trump. And they will close an eye, turn ahead.
This is the world we're living in now, of these preposterous and yet extraordinarily dangerous picks. What you see Trump doing, and it's kind of strange to use this word about Donald Trump, but he's methodically appointing people who will completely destroy any limits on his power.
I love that MSNBC reports that the will of the people. Can we get a CLC, a cry libs cry going? I feel like this is a CLC moment. I love this part of the show because we normally break the chat when we do this. Can we just get a cry libs cry? Some CLCs blowing up in the chat because that was the epitome of it. I love the fact that MSNBC says that it is preposterous that this is happening. The will of the people, your will, is preposterous to these people. There we go. Blow up the chat. CLC, let's go. Cry lives cry. There it is. Cry, cry, cry. Wah, wah, wah. You bunch of losers. Yes.
The current FBI director is Christopher Wray, correct? He was appointed. He was appointed by Donald Trump.
Loser.
Correct?
Loser. Yes.
And my question is,
fired.
Kash Patel, if he comes in, do you think he would be confirmed? Because obviously we saw what happened with Matt Gaetz.
Will be.
People were up in arms when he got nominated. But what is keeping, or what is going to keep him from being confirmed if it does be confirmed? Are people just afraid, or like the senators and they're just going to be afraid to confirm him?
No, he'll get confirmed because you're already seeing senators coming out in support, whereas with Matt Gaetz, like everybody was like, oh, whatever. What I love the most, and this is the reason why Kash Patel must be the FBI director, you're already seeing reports of mass resignations from the FBI with Kash Patel becoming the FBI director. And I say good riddance. Get rid of the trash. Get rid of all of them. I would not be shocked if Kash Patel legitimately shuts the FBI down on day one to rebuild it from the ground up, because that organization is a total dumpster fire, and 90% of those people need to be fired. If you agree with that, comment yes or no. I said 90% before I get well, there's some good. I know, that's why I said 90%. 90% of those people need to be fired because they were all hired under DEI circumstances, and they were all hired for intelligence, not actually being super cops, which is what the FBI was supposed to be for. So yes, Ray's fired. Do I think he'll be confirmed in the Senate? Yes, I do. I really do believe that Kash Patel is going to be there because Kash Patel, believe it or not, has qualifications. And then Trump's transition team actually sent this to every single senator, the qualifications of Kash Patel. So we're going to read this for you guys right here, just so you know that this is a real deal dude right here. It's not just some whatever. Like Kash Patel has the resume. You're going to have to make that a lot bigger. There we go. All right. This was sent to every single senator. Kash Patel background. Kash served as Chief of Staff to the Department of Defense and Deputy Assistant to President Trump. As the Chief of Staff at DOD, his responsibilities included implementing the Secretary's no-fail mission with our 3 million plus employees, operating a $740 million budget and $2 trillion in assets. Kash served as Deputy Director of National Intelligence, where he oversaw 17 intelligence community agencies and prioritized intelligence collection to focus on hard targets and global threats. He led the director's missions to synthesize our intelligence holdings and create the president's daily briefing, which he then briefed to the president and cabinet officials. Kash led President Trump's counterterrorism mission as Deputy Assistant to the President on the National Security Council and helped President Trump on his top priorities, including eliminating Al-Qaeda's and ISIS senior leadership and safely, whatever that word is, repatriating dozens of American hostages. As top counterterrorism official at the White House, Kash was Kash was responsible for creating and implementing our nation's policy to safeguard the homeland by overseeing the interagency implementation of the National CT strategy. Kash served as a National Security Advisor and Senior Counsel for the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. Let's go down a little further. Kash worked as the National Security Prosecutor at the DOJ under Obama. Also, Kash began his career as a public defender trying scores of complex cases in federal and state courts, ranging from murder to narco trafficking to complex financial crimes. To say that Kash Patel is not qualified, these are the same people that voted for Merrick Garland and all these other people. So yes, do I believe that the Senate is going to confirm him? Yes, I do. But let's go to some videos of Kash Patel and why I believe less than 24 hours later, you saw a pardon of Hunter Biden. Here's some videos of Kash Patel. Let's play this. Here we go.
I think as a former federal prosecutor and a public defender who defended a lot of these types of cases, what you need to show is whether or not the FBI and government agents were using undercover operatives and informants on the day of January 6th. Because if you can show that, you know they've been out. Hang on. But the paperwork shows having run informants, that's a 6-month buildup. Minimum.
Right.
Minimum. It's not like they just dropped them into the Proud Boys and said, hey, go, don't disrupt, please. So once you prove that, then you defeat the insurrection narrative with the FBI's own documentation. Forget what the videotape shows. Just think, as a former federal prosecutor and a
All right,
public...
next. Here we go. This is the no-nonsense stuff that we're talking about. Here we go.
We don't have another clip.
Oh, I thought you had the Sean Ryan clip. Oh, my bad. All right, the Sean Ryan clip basically is him saying that we put too much focus on the intelligence side of things, and the first thing he would do is go to the FBI building in Washington, I believe, and shut the whole thing down. There's 7,000 people that work in that building, and he would tell them to go be cops and go do your real job. That's another reason. Here you go. Is this the one? Yeah. Watch this. This is the real reason that you're seeing a lot of people put in their resignations if it's going to be Kash Patel, because they don't really want to be there to do the things. Here we go. Play this. It's true. This is really true. When I was in the Army, it was the same thing. We had this much money, and they're like, holy crap, we got to buy a bunch of stuff because if we don't spend it, they're going to give us less next year. And it was this whole thing. So this is why they're afraid. This is why they're there. This is a fake tweet, but it's hilarious, and I think this is a good way to put this on here. This is a fake tweet. This is, again, a fake tweet. I'm not going to read it so we don't get banned, but there you go. I think that's amazing.
I could totally see Kash saying this, though. This sounds like Kash a little bit.
No, I could totally see it too, but that's hilarious. Real quick, I got to give a shout out to Turning Point USA. Ladies and gentlemen, they have AmFest coming up. And I invite you to come join me. You can go to amfest.com. That's AMFEST.com and get your tickets now for the biggest party in the nation. Ladies and gentlemen, this thing is going to be packed. December 19th through the 22nd. The promo code Graham is going to save you money. Come hang out with me, Charlie Kirk, Tucker Carlson. It's hard to say those two together. Charlie Kirk, Tucker Carlson. I'm sure that Don Jr. is going to be there. I'm willing to bet that the newly elected President Trump will be there as well. It's the biggest conservative movement in the country. Go to amfest.com. Promo code Graham's going to save you money. Go check it out. Come hang out with me and everybody else that you love. I'm also going to say this, and just like we did a campaign for Kash Patel, I'm going to do another one here. And no, I do not know anything. I have no clue. I have nothing. I have my own suspicions that the reason that the director of Secret Service has not been named yet is because the person that is the most qualified for the job probably has the most difficult thing to figure out. Just like we need Pete Hegseth for Secretary of Defense, just like we needed Kash Patel for FBI Director, ladies and gentlemen, I truly believe we need Dan Bongino for the Director of Secret Service. And I know that selfishly we all want Dan to stay where he is. And I don't believe that Dan would do this for forever, but somebody has got to go in there and disrupt the way things are currently going down in the Secret Service. That's my personal belief. Just like Kash Patel, if you agree that Dan Bongino needs to be the Director of Secret Service, comment yes. Just give me a Dan in the chat. I know Dan Bongino watches this, so blow up the chat. Just comment Dan in the chat. Dan in the chat. I want to see it blow up. I believe we need a disruptor to fix the sickness and the disease that is in the Secret Service. And I'm not hating on the good members of the Secret Service that are in there. I'm saying there's something wrong with the leadership in the Secret Service. I think Dan could go in there and in 12 months, he could tear the whole thing down and rebuild it back up and then put that. There you go. Keep it going. I want to see the chat break for Dan Bongino. Ladies and gentlemen, I truly believe we need a public outcry that Dan Bongino is the man for the job. And those of you that are Bongino Army members, you need to let Dan know that you are staying whether he goes or not. If he gets the call, he needs to know from you that you will be there whether he's there or not, and that you will be there when he gets back too. All right? Same thing for me. If I ever got a call, I would hope that you guys at the Dear America family, you would still show up every single day while I went out to serve wherever I needed to serve. And I hope that the Bongino Army is giving Dan the same thing. I believe Dan Bongino is who we need for director of the Secret Service. Not forever, but I think we need a disruptor. I really do. And so Dan's got my vote for it. But we need a push, just like we had for Kash Patel, man. We need a push, and Dan also needs to have your support because it's a big decision, man. One, he's in charge of the protection of the President of the United States and everything else. But two, he's got the largest conservative talk show in the world. And he needs to know that the Bongino Army is going to be there regardless. So I think we need twofold. I think we need a campaign to push for Dan Bongino as director of Secret Service, and I think we need a campaign to show Dan Bongino that you're going to be there to support his show and his empire that he's built, whether he's going to serve or not. And I truly believe that's what we need, ladies and gentlemen. I do. We got it done with Kash Patel. I believe we can get it done with Dan Bongino because he is the man for the job. And just like the Buffalo Bills would say, where would you rather be than right here, right now? I think Dan Bongino is the right man for the right time at the right moment. We need Dan Bongino to go in there and fix the Secret Service from the top down.
We need to get some T-shirts made, man, that says Dan is the man for Secret Service.
No, I'm telling you, only Dan. Not only fan, only Dan. Only Dan shirts. I think we do. I think we need Dan Bongino to go in there, and I don't think he stays for forever. I think he can go in there and dismantle the problems that are at the top. There's problems at the top that need to be fixed. And I don't believe that someone that's currently within the FBI can fix it because that's all they know. That's all they know is that. Secret Service, not FBI. I don't think anybody that's currently in the Secret Service can fix it because that's all they know. You need somebody that's been out that can see from the outside looking in. That's my personal opinion. But disagree if you want to. All right, that's all we got for this show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit that share button. The more you share, the more people see and hear the truth. Todd will not be here all week. Somehow, I just threw my pen.
You're just throwing things around there. But
somehow, when I have to travel to New York, I can figure out how to be on the show. Apparently, when Todd travels to New York, he can't figure it out. I don't know. It's the weirdest thing across the board. So you guys can blow Todd up about that. I don't know why that is, but we'll see. Also, I got a surprise for you around Wednesday or Thursday. I'm excited about that. And we're going to have fun this week. I'm excited to see what this week will bring. First week of December. Do we have some more surprises around the corner? It's going to be cool to figure it out.
December surprise.
December surprises.
Let's pray this thing out real quick. We're going to answer some super questions, and then we're going to get out of here. Dear Lord, we thank you for today. We thank you for the many blessings you gave us over the Thanksgiving holiday. We have so many things to be thankful for. We have so many blessings in our lives that you've given us that we do not deserve. Lord, I just want to thank you right now that you proved on November 8th, or 5th, excuse me. November 8th was a long time ago. You proved on November 5th that you were not done with America yet. So, Lord, now we pray for your guidance. We pray for your courage. We pray for your strength to allow us to now continue to turn America more back towards you. Lord, there may be people listening right now that haven't accepted you into their lives, or maybe people that need a refreshing of you in their lives. So, Lord, we ask you to forgive us of our sins, known and unknown. We ask you to make our heart new today and every day moving forward. Lord, we ask that every step we take is in the footsteps that you have laid out before us for your will to advance your kingdom. Lord, we thank you for your grace. We thank you for your mercy, and we thank you for the ability to do what we do in the greatest country this world has ever known. And we are so thankful that you have not taken your hand off of it yet. We thank you and we love you. And all God's people said, amen. All right, let's do super questions. Let's get out of here. Let's do this thing. Huh. All right. I feel a fight coming in the super chats. Let's go.
A fight?
All right. Ripped Van Winkle said, Joe said Hunter was being unfairly targeted for gun purchases he made in 2018, so he pardoned him for any crimes he may have committed from 2014 to 2024. Exactly. I feel like my son was unfairly treated with, shoplifting a pair of Beats headphones. So in doing that, I'm going to pardon him for criminal racketeering, RICO charges, conspiracy of money laundering, and all of the above. Because this wasn't fair.
In the same sentence, he goes, I believe in the justice system. I believe in it. That's one thing I believe.
Here's something. Ladies and gentlemen, do you realize that this is the last month that President Trump will not be the president of the United States? Do you realize that? We're in the last month of this. And I love the people who are like, well, technically it's like 2 months because it's January. Shut up. It's January. In January, he will be the president of the United States again. This is the last month. Give us some American flags if you're pumped about that this is the last month that we will not have President Trump back in the White House where he belongs. Next question. Striker J said, there's a reason they haven't brought in the laptop and the pedo pics. They're waiting until he can't be pardoned. He will be charged right after Trump takes office or shortly after, here first. Oh, yeah, you heard it here first. Yeah, I mean, again, it's going to have to be new charges. Yep. Absolutely, across the board. Yep. All right, next.
Good point, Jay.
All right, NZAB09, love you, Graham, but taking credit for calling AOC might run for president and Biden pardoning his son. Come on now, not the hardest of calls. Who else are they going to run? Good on you, though, I guess. I disagree wholeheartedly. Last week, the polling showed Kamala Harris was the highest polled to run again in 2028. And you know who wasn't listed on the list at all? AOC. I disagree with you. I think it's easy to say that now that she's done it. But a week ago when nobody was talking about it, was it that easy? I don't know. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. That's like saying, oh, of course the Buffalo Bills are going to win the AFC East. After they won it, you guys
don't understand. The audience doesn't understand. Graham called word for word exactly what Donald Trump was going to say when he returned to Butler.
True.
He called it.
Let him hate. It's fine. It's fine. I'm conceited.
He did that multiple times too. Not just once.
I'm conceited for saying, hey, I got it right again. Like, here's the thing. And you guys have the benefit of, you can go back and find when I'm wrong. Why don't you, again, I talk about this all the time. How is it that the people that are wrong about everything, nobody hits them ever? But when I say, oh, we got it right again, oh, I'm bragging too much. It's interesting to me. But let's go on. Moving on. All right, Christopher Schloffer. Okay. Tony, don't forget when our Ducks pounded the M in Ann Arbor when we beat them in 2007. Go Ducks. No 3-loss teams, Graham. OSU is a terrible fan base. Well, I mean, I guess we'll find out. I mean, again,
we're going to find out pretty quick when the playoffs start.
And I'm not saying it's Alabama. Okay, take Ole Miss, take South Carolina, and take Alabama. Both 3-loss SEC teams. Does SMU beat any of those teams? Heck no. Zero chance that happens. It's never going to happen. That's the argument. Is if the argument is the best teams, I don't see how a SMU gets in over a 3-loss SEC team when Alabama, out of all of the teams in the SEC, has the most wins over ranked opponents. Even though they lost 3 games, they have the most wins over ranked opponents.
Well, I don't know. I think
their strength of schedule was in the top 10.
I think this year is really weird because anybody is vulnerable no matter what week you're playing, who you're playing. Anybody can beat anybody at any point of time this year for some reason. I don't know why it's been so – there's been so many unranked teams beating ranked teams this year. It's the weirdest year
because
ever,
because the NFL has come to college. College football, all of these, they're going to win by 30 points. No, all that crap's over, man. All right, moving on. You guys don't like sports or fun, so let's move on. All right, NZAB09, I agree with you,
Graham.
Fun? Yeah, they don't like sports. There's no fun. All right, I agree with you, Graham, that the players in all three of the flag-planting brawls this weekend should be suspended. However, none of that will get Bama in with their bad record and crap coach. Go Dogs. Hey,
Wow,
Bulldog fans, I'm telling you right now.
Georgia fan.
Look, just like Alabama proved 3 years ago, it's hard to beat a team twice. Georgia, and your record in Atlanta is horrible. Georgia better get ready for this Texas team coming in, man. I would argue Texas is playing better football now than Georgia. And so, we'll see. I guess we'll see.
So, not to talk about sports too much, but if Texas beats Georgia, is Georgia, do you think, out of the playoffs? Or they'll still get in?
They'll keep Georgia in.
They'll keep Georgia in?
because they're a 3-loss SEC championship team or non-SEC champion. We'll see.
Yeah.
Hey, here's the thing. I have no clue because it's the first year of the 12-team playoff. I got no clue. All right, next. In Zab 09, have you guys seen the swamp rat rhino creatures that are going to be on the Doge board? They're going to block the big and important things Elon and Vivek will want to cut. Thoughts? I don't think so. I don't think that's true. I mean, look, again, Bongino talks about this a lot. Here's the thing, guys. This is the first of many brutal cuts to the budget, to the swamp, everything. You're not going to get 100%. You're just not. Unless we move to a world where every congressional seat, every Senate seat, every governor, everything is up for grabs every single election cycle, you're never going to get it all at one time. You're just not. You're never going to get it all at one time. And unfortunately, the way America works, America's emotional. America does this pendulum swing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. If you go too extreme too quickly for the people that were center and things like that, they're going to go back over to the left. So you have to play this kind of balancing game at first because unfortunately, here's another reality. After all these people join Trump's administration, I think we have a 2-seat majority. Two-seat majority. Until we have the special elections. And God willing, we win those. But we have a 2-seat majority right now in the House. So, you got to kind of play chess here. It's like 4D chess. And I know that we all want the revolution, and I got it. But we are winning battles. We have not won the war. The war is not over with yet. They're going to come roaring back in 26 for the midterms, and they're going to come roaring back in 28 for the presidential election cycle again. We have to play smart in this. And so taxes, we may just get a flat tax right now, which would be a huge improvement. Personally, I think it needs to be a flat tax on purchases, not a flat tax on income. We'll see what ends up happening there. But the taxes are going to change in a positive for the American citizen. I think the ultimate goal of most sane individuals is to abolish the IRS in total. I don't know if that happens this first go around, but if we can slash that sucker in half, that's a win. And then we got to keep stacking the wins.
Yeah, I just think it's disappointing that the people obviously have spoken this election that passed, and then you have rhinos like John Thune taking over the Senate there. It's just really disappointing that rhinos like him are going to keep Trump from accomplishing everything that he wants to do, because obviously he's got a big goal in mind. Trump, I mean, he's made a lot of promises and what he wants to do, and I think if people would get out of his way, he would be able to do all that and make life here in the United States way better than what it is now.
I personally think that Trump's actually going to make the most change in the first 2 years of this presidency. He's going to push to be as fast as possible, because 2 years from now, when the primary does hit, who knows what happens? Do we lose all control? Because right now we have full control of the Congress and the Senate.
Yes.
He's able to get whatever he wants done essentially. 2 years from now, we don't know where we'll be or what control he'll have. So I think he's going to push it all in the beginning.
And I agree with you. But what I'm trying to tell everybody is, it's just like what he's going to do to all of Biden's executive orders. He's going to rescind all of them day one. If we don't play this chess the right way, and there's a radical surging of the left come 2028, they'll just do the exact same thing. They'll re-implement the tax code. They'll veto every single thing that Trump did. We have to play this for the long game. Trump's got to lay the groundwork down, and we have to continue gaining ground, wins every single day, because if we don't, then it's just going to fling all the way back in 28, and they're just going to rescind everything. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right, next. All right, Amanda, USA 1985. What do you think they are going to try next before he gets in office? God bless. Love you guys. Well, if it's not World War III, it's going to be some kind of health thing. You see this stuff with bird flu and the milk and all this other kind of crap. I do love that that Trump has now spoken directly out against BRICS, saying that there will be a 100% tariff on any country that wants to usurp the dollar. It will be interesting to see how those countries respond. Will they double down and dig their heels in, or will they give up? That's going to be an interesting thing to see what's going on there. But it's either going to be World War III, that Trump can't stop it before he gets in office, and then it already happens, or it's going to be some kind of something to affect the economy, to affect something like that. That's really the only things that can happen, in my opinion. Or they're going to try to, again, this is why we need to protect the president at all costs. They're going to try to keep him from swearing in January, on January 20th. Next.
If you know what he's saying.
Greggy Bungo. How was your dressing? Stuffing comes in a box and used by people who can't cook. Sorry, couldn't resist. We actually found, I found a tweet that I sent everybody, and it makes sense. Apparently dressing is like only in Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, and Louisiana, but we diagnosed it. Stuffing is a thing that's made by literally stuffing it in the turkey.
Yeah, it's what goes in the turkey.
Dressing is a standalone dish that's more like a casserole, and I showed it to Tony. We had like legit dressing at Thanksgiving. I was like, this is what I'm talking about.
And I've had it before. I prefer stuffing myself. And Greggy, first of all, my daughter and I, we cooked the stuffing together, and it took us about an hour and a half to cook it. So you can shove that up your you-know-what, people who can't cook.
Anyway, all I'm saying is, look, it's how you were raised, man. You know, and once you see legit dressing, you realize, oh, yeah, this is definitely a Southern thing, because just the way it's made and all this other kind of stuff. I mean, it's a big like casserole, cornbread style casserole of bread. Like, that's what it is, essentially. Wet bread. So, like, yeah, of course that's a Southern thing. So it makes sense now why me and Todd were so adamant about it, because there's like only 4 states that call it dressing, and Mississippi was one of them. So, all right, let's go. I still think it's better. All right, Kaloho, to all my dear American Hot Seat family, thank you so much for your prayers and thoughts for my mom this past weekend. Found her meds in recycle before it went to the street. God is good. Fantastic, Kaloho. That's awesome.
That's awesome,
glad that worked out. All right. That's all we got, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please do us a favor and hit that like button, and more importantly, hit that share button wherever you may be watching, far and wide. We will see you guys back here tomorrow. Same time, same place. Tony, say goodbye.
Hasta mañana, everybody.
All right, Royce.
Goodbye. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right. And as always,
why do you always laugh at what I say?
It just
what did I do?
You seem surprised every time I go to.
He's like, what? We're finishing now? What?
Anyway, okay. And as always, I'm Graham Allen. Stay awake, not woke. Trust in God, not the government. And as always, stay free.